Oh my god. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I feel like I'm in an apartment and you can hear everything. You can hear like a crumb fall on the floor from the hallway, and I keep saying, hi guys, welcome to my channel. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, like over and over and over again, and I think they can hear me, and I just heard like a door close, so I'm like, ooh, ew, like they're eavesdropping. I feel awkward. Whatever. We're gonna embrace that. This is exposure therapy. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing. I'm really just here to yap. I don't really care about a view, a like, a comment, but I appreciate all of them. And a new subscriber means the world. But I'm embracing my inner Trishapitas. I'm embracing my Tana Mojo. I need a Zen, or Velo, not sponsored. Need her real quick. Little upper decker. Okay, I'm ready. I didn't really have an objective of what I wanted to like talk about. I was literally just bored. But I think I want to talk about relationships. Where my girls at? Where my divas? Let's boy talk. Or girl talk. Or they, them talk. I don't give a fuck. Period. Present day, I am in the most loving, supportive, healthy relationship I've ever been in my entire life. Mind you, I got a higher body count than I do relationship count. Like maybe times 10. Ugh. Don't judge me. I hope only girls find this. Like, girlies come through. You know what? Fuck that. We're gonna talk about sex and relationships. Okay. I know what I want to talk about now. Didn't know what I wanted to talk about. Just kind of press record because I was bored. Shit. Press record because I was bored. Want to share some of my lore about how I was a whore. Stop. Divas? Lock in. Yeah, I kind of want to talk about like sex and relationships and identity and whatnot, and like how it's like all encapsulated from like my experience, my perspective. So I like to say I'm a retired whore in remission. No, like it's done. It's done for. She's cured, I hope. Like if my boyfriend breaks up with me, I don't know what I'll do because I got anxious attachment. He's got secure attachment and he helps me feel more secure, more independent. Thank God, no more codependency in this bitch. Like if he broke up with me, my alter ego, she might pop out. And we don't want that. I digress. So yeah, I used to be a little hoe. Okay, hold on. To preface, my dad died when I was 14 in 2017. Do the math. Dad died. Love my mom. Okay, have a much better relationship with her now. But back in the day when I was a little preteen and teen, did not have the greatest relationship with her, especially after my dad died. Dad was like outgoing, silly, fun. My appearance and personality is like a direct reflection of my dad. My mom, I was always a mama's girl, like growing up, but like during the teenage years and whatnot, she was going through her own shit too. Let's be so for real. She lost like her soulmate. She dealt with a lot of shit with him, like behind the scenes too, before he died of an overdose. You know, she knew about the addiction and this, that, the third, blamed herself a lot. So I empathize with my mother heavily. But she struggled to show up emotionally for me after that whole situation. So she was like the very militant mother, held a lot of pressure on me and whatnot. And I was rebellious and defiant. And, you know, I never had the birds and the bees talk. You know, we didn't really go that deep. You know, I actually have like a vague memory. Laura drop, vague memory of like one of her like new boyfriends after my dad died. Like oddly, like sitting in our like living room in the pitch black darkness. I don't know where the fuck my mom was. We're literally in the pitch black darkness. Like I don't even think the TV was on. Not a single light was on. And we're just sitting there. And mind you, I had no hair at the time. Here's a pic. Okay. And he's like giving me the sex talk. And I just remember being so uncomfy because I'm like, you've literally been around for 1 week. Why are you talking to me at 14 years old about sex? Why is it coming from you and not my mother? They didn't last long. The next one was like weird guy, bulgy eyes, huge like underbags with like pinned pupils and like bloodshot eyes. I don't know why. And they just like always went to the club or went on cruises, and then I would have to like, my mom's never seen this. I'd have to like pick my mom up off the floor of the bathroom and she would get home drunk as fuck, and then she would like cry to me and shit, and I would like nurture her back to health. Like I'm 15. Anyway, should I put a trigger warning? But anyway, no one told me about sex and relationships and this, that, the third. I've always been boy crazy. Since I was like a child, I was boy crazy. Dude, when I was in second grade, I had this huge crush on this guy named Andrew, and I used to chase him around the playground. And it was like my own personal like game of tag, and I would just try and like make out with him, like just kiss him. I'm just trying to kiss him. I'm like chasing him. He's running for his life, trying to get away from me, and I'm like literally trying to kiss him. Those might have been my first experiences with the rejection. It's clicking. Fast forward, okay, I'm 15, I lose my virginity. Before I lose my virginity, okay, backtrack one more time. I was in this like little situationship with this guy, and I like gave him a blowy on a random football field. Ew, I had no hair. Picture again. Okay, and I remember like my best friend at the time, who wasn't my best friend anymore because she slept over like the night that my dad died. And like, oh my God, this is lore. This is tea. I'm telling you so much. She slept over the day that like my dad died, and like we woke up to like cops and sirens and EMTs and whatnot, like all in the house and shit. And like she like took a picture of me crying and said, "Her dad's dead streaks," while I'm like literally like sobbing, like my whole life just shattered. She's like the same person who like posted on her little Finsta about like, if you want to know who Amber gave a blowjob to, like DM me. What did I do? How much more trauma in a week span do I need, queen? Yes, I started blowing guys like maybe a week after my dad died. Wait, I'm like connecting the dots. Sometimes like I realize that I don't remember most of like those years because like the trauma literally altered my brain chemistry, and like my brain was in such survival mode that it was like, do not remember. You don't wanna. Believe me, you don't want to remember. And then I start to realize like, oh my God, I was hoeing myself like off the rip. It's like dad wasn't even in the urn yet. Mind you, I'm wearing him on my neck right now. He's in there. Hi, Dad. It's okay. If he's watching from somewhere, he's heard all this before already. So he probably saw it. Great. Anyway, maybe that's not relevant. Fast forward, I'm 15. I officially lose my V card. And I remember that was like a pivotal moment in my life. I think I was exposed to like porn and stuff like that from like a very young age as well. Like when you grew up, like I'm an 03 baby. We had social media a little too young. I was seeing like cartel beheadings at the age of like 10, you know, and 2 Girls, 1 Cup probably before that. So I was introduced to porn relatively early. I lose my virginity, and I feel like I have a very addictive personality, and I think that was genuinely my first addiction. Before the sex, it was just kind of like the attention from the opposite sex, you know, like male validation. I always felt so ugly. Bro, when I cut my hair, another picture. When I cut my hair, I remember like literally going through gender dysphoria. Like always being mistaken for a boy, feeling like a boy because I always grew up like a tomboy. Like I was always like one of the homies, like dap me up, bro. Like yeah, that was cringe. I'll never do that again. I'm sorry. I just felt like ugly, you know? Like, oh my God, I used to overanalyze myself in the mirror so bad. It's like left side, yes, right side, go away, you know? Or like I would like literally flip myself upside down and like look. Don't look at my ass. Hello? Like, why do I look like that, you know? So it's like every angle of me was like always so like revolting in my own head, you know? So like if a guy was attracted to me, guys are honest, let's be so fucking for real. Like in my head, I'm like, they wouldn't like give me the time of day if they thought I was ugly. You know, they wouldn't want to fuck me if I was ugly. That's really not the case. I think that like they're horny, you know, like now that I think about it, but like at that time of my life, I'm like, I just needed that validation to like prove that like, one, I'm pretty, and then at the same time that I'm like worthy of being attracted to, worthy of love, because I didn't like feel that. And I feel like especially when my dad died, it felt like rejection. My dad died of an overdose. I remember internalizing that and feeling like he chose drugs over his family. He loved drugs more than he loved me. When he's using the drugs, although I wasn't aware of it when it was happening, when I like looked back on it, it felt like rejection. Like you're rejecting me, your family, your kids. Like I have a sister as well. Then when he died, it felt like abandonment. Like you left us. Like you chose this over us and it killed you. And I struggled with that a lot. And sleeping with older men is a huge part of my story. I think the sex and the relationships and like the situationships, love when it wasn't really love, you know, just that like fantasy, it was a huge way of deflecting from all of my internal turmoil, all my insecurities, all my trauma, really intense emotions. It just got me outside of myself. So I used it as a coping mechanism and I got addicted to it, and I just kept going and going and going, and we racked up the body count. Okay, not proud, but also not regretful. I hate a motherfucker who shames a girl for having a high body count, because y'all don't understand anything. Mind you, I've experienced sexual harassment, sexual assault, really like touchy things I will not ever get into in a public video from a very young age. And then it was also like kind of prevalent throughout my life. But yes, I had these experiences, these sexual experiences from a young age, and it definitely impacted the way that I saw sex and relationships. And then I'm also coping by using it. As time went on, you know, I just like kept hooking up with people. Then I rewrote the narrative in my head as empowerment, like I'm a woman, like I'm embracing my femininity. Like, no, I just had really low self-esteem and trauma and crippling insecurity, and I just kept seeking outside of myself to fill a void that I couldn't do, you know, emotionally or personally. To a point where then I got like addicted to Tinder, and then I was finding older men, and I lied about my age on my Tinder. I don't know if this is incriminating. So allegedly, this girl that I know, right, would get Tinder and lie about her age on there and then hook up with older men. Lied about the age on the Tinder, did not lie about the age in person, and those men did not care. But you know, when grown men proceed to fuck you, knowing that you're a minor, again, trigger warning, so sorry. You might chop it up to, well, I'm mature. We're both consenting, but no, because you're not consenting adults. You're not both consenting adults. Through years of therapy, I realized that it's not acceptable, and it's quite frankly illegal. And I was just like re-traumatizing myself without consciously knowing it. Like, I think I manipulated myself into thinking that I was empowering myself or that I was okay with it. I was just so numb to being used for my body that I didn't care when I really did. Like, all I yearned for was love and affection and acceptance, and I didn't know how to give that to myself, and that was the biggest problem. I could not love and accept myself because I was disgusting, you know? My dad didn't even love me enough to stay alive, right? Like, things like that. I just had a lot of trauma, you know? And multiple experiences that reiterated this like belief system within me that I was not good enough for anything other than my body. And after a while, I was kind of tired of giving it up. And so I thought maybe I should get into a relationship instead. But those relationships were extremely codependent and abusive. I racked up a lot of bodies, but relationships, I've only really been in like 4. My first relationship was when I was 15 and he was 23, and that fucked me up. 15, dad just died, just lost my virginity, and all of a sudden I'm in a relationship with a man 8 years older than me, grown adult, child. Grown adult, I'm a child, right? And he was abusive. He was also sexually abusive. So right then and there, just from that first like relationship experience, I was like, I don't even want to get attached to people. All of a sudden I developed like almost like an anxious avoidant attachment. It's like, I want you, like, come here, but like stay away, you know, don't get too close, right? And then over time, I'm doing the deed with everyone and their father, like, and I was just tired of giving it up. So I gravitated towards men that were not very emotionally available, or were also traumatized, or were abusive. And I was constantly in those codependent abusive relationships, back to back to back. Still couldn't sit with Amber, couldn't sit with self, couldn't be alone, you know, claimed to the gods, you know, swearing up and down, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. But guess what, girl? The actions are not matching the words, right? Like, the beliefs within are not matching the dialogue coming out of your mouth. And it's clear, we can see it. I had to do some real soul searching at one point. My last relationship, it was abusive. This was a relationship where he hit me, and honestly, I talk about it a lot with like people in my personal life. I honestly like would have rather he hit me than psychologically abuse me the way that he did. Some of the things that he said to me, mind you, this was years ago, still stick with me. He said things that tore me down. So he would cry to me and apologize for all the awful things that he says and does to me, and like play this victim. He was like an extreme narcissist, like psychopath, and he destroyed me emotionally. And then when he hit me, I was kind of surprised, but I wasn't at the same time. And I don't know, like, he fucked me up, and I was like tied to him. Like, people talk about like, if you're in an abusive relationship, like, just leave. Like, what are you doing? Like, da, 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 da. Like, no, you don't understand until you've been through it. Like, they make you like emotionally dependent on them. Like, yes, they will break you down. They'll make you seem like you're the most disgusting, unlovable person, and that they are the only ones that will ever love you. It sounds ridiculous, you know? until you're in it. And it's like, holy shit. Mind you, like, they prey on those insecure and vulnerable people that already have those negative beliefs of themselves and completely manipulate. But I remember, like, I got to a point where I was like, I cannot freaking do this anymore. And yes, I was still seeing him or talking to him and this, at the third, like, while I'm like trying to ease out of it. But like, I was in therapy way more heavily. Instead of one session over 2 weeks, it turned into a session a week, and then it turned into multiple sessions a week, because I was like, I need to like do something. I'm doing shadow work, I'm playing with crystals, I'm like, anything to help me. I will take anything. And then eventually I officially cut him off. Little time goes by, I hop on Hinge. Kind of felt like a relapse, you know? Like, I felt like I just like shouldn't be on there, you know? I do the swipe thing, I text and I get this validation, and then I ignore it. Like, once it's time to like actually meet up or hang out, I'm like, no. But then I met this like one guy who's my current boyfriend, surprise. And he was just so genuine and chill. And our first date was a trampoline park. And I just remember, like, he was so patient with me. It's like, we had an objective on this date, and it was to teach me how to do a backflip on a trampoline. And he was so patient with me. I literally could not do it. I couldn't get past like that mental block of like, I'm gonna break my neck. And he was so reassuring and calm and like like, I'm crazy, right? I'm hyperactive, ADHD through the fucking wazoo. He was so grounded and respectful. And usually, because of my pattern, I seek out the people that are toxic and not healthy for me. So when I would come across the nice guy, I always rejected them. You know, it's like, you're my friend. Because it like really was like, I don't want to lose this. I always turn sour in some capacity. And like, this is a person that I genuinely respect and really like. And I know that I can maintain that in a friendship. So please, like, no, don't get attached to me. But this guy, I was like, hold on. Like, I feel like I'm at a point where it's like, I deserve like some love, you know? And we like started dating. He was the first person to ever like actually ask me to be their girlfriend, and I thought that was just so romantic, you know? Like, I was like, oh my god, my knight in shining armor, and I'm like the princess in distress, like, and it was beautiful, you know? And I was like, okay, you know what, fuck it, let's give it a shot. And there was definitely some baggage from past relationships and self-esteem issues and whatnot that arose within this relationship, but he has such a secure attachment. Like, yeah, I'm going through it, you know? I'm trying to embrace love and accept love and also give it without trying to get something in return, you know? I'm not looking for validation and gratification anymore. It's like, I actually want to give this love because I do really love you, and I'm trying to accept it, but I'm not used to accepting love because I don't know what love is. I was okay with that, you know? He was very patient with me, and he has only, listen, I got a lot of bodies. He's got like none. All of his bodies were long-term relationships. Like, I was his fourth person he's ever had sex with. Also, first person that I didn't sleep with within the first week. And I like made that decision. And he never like insinuated that he wanted to have sex, but I was like, I remember like we had like this really romantic date, like literally story time movie fairy tale shit. Like, we sat on the top of his car in a nature refuge at sunset, and like that was our first kiss. Stop. And I remember him saying like, do you want to come over to my house after this? And I like immediately was like, yes, but like I don't want to have sex, because I knew like I wanted this. Like, I want to be something with this person, and I know that if I have sex with this person, like it's gonna go sour. I need to build a relationship with this person first. Part of my healing journey was like not hopping into a sexual relationship so quickly, and like taking my time with this and actually getting to understand and truly meet this person. And he was like, oh, well, I wasn't planning on it, so that's great. And I was like, so you think I'm ugly? No. I definitely kind of thought that. You know, I'm like, wait, why don't you want to fuck me? No, it's just because he's like a healthy person. Yeah. But I made that admission. I'm like, yeah, we're not having sex. Okay, great. So we didn't for like a while. And then when we did, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was like love. It was like two souls intertwining and embracing each other respectfully and passionately, you know? And it was like, it was an energy transfer. Like, it was beautiful. I was just like, I don't want to mess this up. Like, I really don't. And he has been so patient and loving with me. And we've been together over 2 years. My longest relationship was probably like 6 months. Maybe a year if we include the on and off with the abusive boyfriend. This is my longest relationship. And like through this relationship, over time, I don't know, he was just so present, so patient, so understanding. I told him everything. I told him about all my like from the rip. I told him about all my bodies, all my like crazy shit that I've done in my life. Like another plot twist, like I did drugs. I was in rehab multiple times. You know, I did like a little. I was crazy at one point and just like always seeking to remove myself from my reality. I just needed to get outside of myself because I could never sit with myself. And he like loved me knowing all of those things from my past and knowing that they're my past. Yes, they are prevalent in my life, you know, like they definitely took a toll on me and can show up, you know, like certain behaviors and attitudes from those experiences can definitely show up in our relationship, and they did. And he still was like, well, I love you, you know, and he didn't feel obligated to heal me or save me. It wasn't like that. It was just like we're two people like who have like very complex stories on either end, you know, polar opposites, but we can come together and make something beautiful. And he like proved to me that like I am lovable and I do deserve love, and I'm so grateful for that motherfucker. I'm literally so grateful for him. I love him so much. And like to a point where like now I feel like, yes, I still have a little bit of an anxious attachment, but I'm not codependent. You know, I can be my own person. I can have my own individuality and my own identity that is not tied to another person. Oh my God, speak of the devil and he may appear. Speak of the devil and he may appear. Hi. I was making a YouTube video. Want to say hi? Want to say hi to my audience? To my fans?
Hello.
Shit.
Not wearing underwear.
Just how I like it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. Love you. Like and subscribe.